Your road to 10 million challenge was to make $10 million, I believe, 30 days initially. What was the craziest thing that you did for money?
The painting that I sold. Did you see the painting?
Yeah, I did.
I had a feeling like that it was going to sell for a reasonable amount of money, but ended up I got $146,000 for that painting. It took me 8 hours, and it just like blew my mind that somebody was willing. And there was a ton of bids, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bids. That was definitely the most bizarre way of making money, but it was only 150K. The most profitable was, oddly enough, online slots, which odds-wise, like RTP, if you're going to crunch the numbers, that was like crazy lucky. Actually, when I started the road to 10 million, the joke was that I was planning on just losing like $5 million, because that's usually how it goes gambling. But then I first stream road to 10 million, I accidentally made like $1.5 million. Like I guess we might as well try and make 10 million now. Like the joke is ruined. It's also way cooler to make 10 million than lose.
Why 10 million?
Well, hold on. Did you have 5 million to lose?
No. It would have been debt.
You would have gone in debt.
Yeah, but it's cool, dude, because it's like the
How
debt
is it
to the
cool?
casino is no problem, because it's like
So you borrow from Roulette
yeah.
or
I
like,
borrow from Roulette and the casinos in Vegas.
And
do you
what-
know
Just
what
give them out
rate
markers.
you borrow it at?
Well, since I work for Roulette, they give me 0% interest. That's why it's cool, because it's
But
like,
you still
all right, I owe
owe
you
them.
5 million. It's like I'll get to it, guys.
You'll,
You know what I mean?
see, but you still owe them the money, even though it's
Yeah.
0% interest. So they're not forgiving this.
No, but it's cool.
How is that cool?
Because, dude, it's like
It's a lot of money.
I'm 22 years old. I have a long time, and I my income is like reasonably high for my age, so I have a long time to figure my shit out. I don't gotta lock in until I'm
35.
realistically-
Until you're old.
I have, what's the math? 35 minus 22. However many years that is, I
13.
got 13 years of just like f***ing off, and then like 34 years old, I'll be like, all right.
You'll be like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
20 million in debt. At this point, I should, I should
Then
probably.
you figure it out. But that's why it's great, because then it's like that's when the world gets really real. I'm 20 million in debt, which hopefully I'm not at that point. Then you got to lock in like really hard, and that's the best way to do it. A lot of people say they were losers, unsuccessful until they had kids, because now you have something that you literally like. It's life or death. Basically, you have to be successful, and if you're in huge debt at that age, it's like lock it in. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I never not figured it out.
So you assumed you were just going to lose $5 million of money that you didn't have, but you ended up on the first stream making, you said $1.5 million gambling.
Yeah, I think at the time I had well, it's hard to evaluate my net worth at the time, because like I have a Lamborghini, but it's like I paid whatever 300 something thousand for it, but how much is it really worth? I don't know. But I think my like roughly my net worth was probably like $600,000 at that time, but my income was reasonably high, so that's why I'm comfortable losing.
That first stream you said you made $1.5 million. That was from slots and stuff. So like after this stream,
Yeah.
you are now worth 2.1 million, probably approximately.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you decided you're actually going to go for $10 million instead of it being like a gag of financially liberating yourself.
Well, I don't know what I was on, but I thought I was going to make $25 million in 30 days. Like to my soul, my core. Like I was sitting there, I was just, I'm going to do it. I guarantee I'm going to do it. I would have put it on anything. I'm going to do it 100%. And then as I did, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like I'm not even close. This is impossible. But that's the great part about it, is like if you are truly crazy enough to think that you can do some, like just maybe, can I do something crazy if I just try, and you really think it's going to happen and you go for it, you're going to get pretty close. Like the end of the road to 10 million, I ended up like with like 4 something million. But if I was a little smarter, I would have never, I don't know, 10 million in a month, that's just never gonna happen. I'm not gonna try. And then I would have zero amount of millions of dollars. So that's really the beautiful thing about like the crazy delusions.
So you actually ended up making $4 million in a month.
No, it's 2 months.
So $2 million a month for 2 months.
Yeah.
Did that motivate you then to like continue that?
No, because I'm like 40 days in, I got like 4 million, whatever. I hadn't posted a video in forever. The sponsor's getting mad that I'm not posting content. And I was just thinking to myself, okay, this is great that I have $4 million, but also like realistically, I'm not a total idiot. I'm sitting there thinking, if I lose this $4 million, then the video is back to zero. And then there's no video at all. And it's going to be a huge problem. So I stopped gambling around $4 million and embarking on less risky schemes. Like the painting, I'm making a song. I wanted that to come out before the end of the video, so that way I could show people how much I made from the song. Logistically, it's a lot harder to put out a song than you would imagine. And then I bought a house, but we can't really tell if that's going to be a good investment for a long time. So it's like, all right, we'll probably count that for a few million bucks.
What does your accountant think of all of this? Because I'm
He hates
thinking
me. Oh
through,
my
it's
God.
like the gambling, that's got to be an impossible task to calculate wins and losses. And you wiring money for Rolexes and they turn out to be fake. All of these
Well, I did
things.
that one in crypto, so that one's cool. We didn't have to ever like. I think my understanding. I thought my videos were enough financial proof to the IRS that like, okay, yeah, this is like what's going on. But then my accountant's like, dude, we need like, what the fuck is this deposit for $500,000? And I'm just like, I don't really remember, to be honest with you. Like a lot of things I do, I don't really know. And I didn't know, I'm just learning now. He called me the other day and he's like, the business cards are for business expenses. I just, whatever account, I just pull out a random card. Like last night at the casino, I used a business card, took out like $10,000 just because whatever, I'd pick a random card. So he is super unhappy with me. I have not paid my taxes yet because I texted him because it was due the 15th, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, like, how much money do I owe? And he was like, dude, it's just ridiculous. We're still working on it.
It's because if you made $4 million in a year, you probably owe like half of that. Maybe a little less because you're in Florida.
Hopefully not, dude.
You'll owe about 37 to 40%.
I can't make
of that
happen. I cannot swing that. You guys are gonna have to give me some sneaky rich people tips because I can't pay 40%. I'll be out of money.
Maybe. I mean, we could strategize.
That's gonna be a financial crisis if I gotta pay 40% of my money.
You
How
probably
are you
will.
planning
We could strategize later.
But
you did
I
that.
wasn't
Here's the
planning.
thing.
You made the $4 million this year, right? So that means you have a full year to offset your income with expenses.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You're going to owe this next year. You're going to have a $2 million tax bill so far, unless you lose the money, in which case you're going to use those losses to offset the $4 million profit, but you would then be still net down money.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure something else that's not either of those options because that's ridiculous. 50% of your money?
Basically.
You give 50% of your money to IRS?
I pay 37 plus another 1 to 2%, give or take, for random things.
But we're also in Nevada, 0% state income tax here. So if you were in California, it'd be over 50.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. We'll have to do. Well, but that's not really a problem for another. It's like what, like 12, 13 months.
Yeah, you could stretch it. Now, I'm curious though, because you were gambling and like consistently winning. How were you able to do that? Was there a strategy behind this, or was it luck?
No, there's no such thing as strategy in gambling. So how it works is the like RTP is like your expected loss, and you can look at different games. Like what's the best RTP? A lot of people will go in, play blackjack, and it's like, why do I lose every time? But if you're not playing perfect blackjack, the odds of you losing are like 80%. But if you play perfect blackjack, the RTP, like over an extended period of time, you're expected to lose about 1 to 2% of your money. But over a short period of time, realistically, the strategy, which is not mathematically a good strategy, but I always just raise the bet until I win. So say I lose $20,000 on a blackjack hand, and the next one just put down 30,000, and you lose, put down 50,000, put down 60,000, and either it ends in devastation or you're good and you win. And so now you're sitting at like 90% chance that I win, and there's a 10% chance that I'm fully devastated and the loss is so bad that there's a huge problem. So we're just gonna pray that doesn't happen. It's never happened. So
Yet.
But now it's like, now I got $4 million and I'm definitely not paying no taxes. So I can.
You could flee.
Yeah. Well, no,
Puerto Rico.
Well, the idea is ideally I use this $4 million, make some investments, and then I won't have to gamble as much. Like I've already lowered how much we lose last night. I lost 200,000 last night playing blackjack.
How did you do that? Was that the strategy of doubling down?
No, I actually tried. I called a casino. I was like, I need more money. And they were like, no.